Hey, Michelle here. Welcome back to my series, Healing Health Issues Naturally. So I am sharing with you today my continuing journey with quantum energy medicine. The good, the bad, the ugly. Does it really work? So I started this series with the intention to give you hope, to inspire you, to empower you to the possibilities of healing that are available for you. I have seen way too many people over the years, my family, friends, clients, suffer from various health issues and not get any reprieve after surgeries or medications or traditional Western medicine approaches. And it's not that I'm against Western medicine. As a matter of fact, I love to marry the best of both worlds. So anytime that I've dealt with a health issue, I always seek a medical doctor to get the appropriate blood work, lab tests, or diagnostics that are needed. And I also seek out holistic practitioners like acupuncturists or emotion code practitioners. And I use my own yoga therapy as well on myself. So these are all things that have helped me in healing various health issues. And ironically, as I started this series, I started to develop some very scary health issues, and it was basically symptoms of fibromyalgia. I've talked about it in a couple of other videos that I'll link below in the description for you in case you missed those. In short, what I was feeling was chronic fatigue, brain fog, difficulty concentrating, intense physical pains and spasms in my lower body, which basically made it very difficult or painful for me to walk. I couldn't go up and down stairs. I couldn't exercise my lower body for several months. And it really got to me mentally and emotionally. That's why I like to marry Western and Eastern medicine, or just get the best of everything that you can, because our health is so much more than just the physical body. It is our mental health, it is our emotional health, all of those things we got to look at when we're healing ourselves. So I became very, very intrigued as to how can I heal myself from these very scary symptoms that took me into an emotional tailspin. I had some very down moments, and I had times when I felt very alone and like nobody understood what I was going through. And people in my life, they didn't quite fully know how to be supportive of me because they didn't really understand what I was going through. And oftentimes, I looked okay on the outside, but inside it was like I was holding back the tears someday because the pain was so bad. So if you are going through stuff like that, my heart and my prayers are with you, and I want to give you hope. There are solutions, okay? So this is when I came across this quantum energy medicine, and I was referred by another doctor of mine, God bless his heart. And so I went to this quantum energy medicine specialist. And to give you just a little bit of a background, what the heck is quantum energy medicine? So it is based on quantum physics, and it denotes that everything is made of energy, as we know. And so all of our organs, everything emits a specific frequency or a specific energy, as do our emotions. Our emotions, you can feel it when you're angry. You can actually feel like that pit in your stomach, or you feel physiological processes in your body that happen in response to your emotions. So everything emits a frequency. So say, for instance, a perfectly functioning kidney organ emits a specific frequency, and that frequency can be measured. So if that kidney organ is diseased with a toxin or a virus, it will emit a different frequency that can also be measured, and it will emit the frequency of what it's diseased with. So in this way, quantum energy medicine can actually pinpoint the root cause of whatever health issues you might be going through. And so it was very intriguing to me, and when I went to get my whole diagnostic test done, the doctor found a long ass laundry list of things that were going on inside my body. I was shocked. And I was shocked because I pride myself on taking extra good care of my health. This is what I do. I exercise. I exercise, I meditate, I eat well. I'm doing all the right things, and yet I came back with a laundry list of issues that included things like mold in my brain and my heart, Epstein-Barr virus in my liver, my spleen, my brain, Also had propofol and Roundup weed killer in my kidneys, and just a super long list of things that just like had my head spinning. And I walked out of there going, how am I functioning right now with all of this going on inside of my body? So basically the treatment is, the remedies are water that is charged with a specific frequency. And this is where you're going to likely have to suspend your beliefs or your understanding of health overall. I also had to suspend some of my own beliefs, but the more that I dug into it and the more that I go back to things that I've read in the past and studied, I realized it made a lot of sense to me. So basically the remedies are charged water, just like this vial that you see. This is actually one of my remedies for my protocol. You'll see a number on it. I actually had 55 whole remedies for my treatment protocol. And each remedy targets a specific organ with a specific toxin that was found in your body. So you can imagine I had 55 things going on. And so basically you take it, you put a drop under your tongue, wait 5 seconds, and yes, your body will know exactly how to read that frequency, and it will know what to do to heal. So I started this treatment on June 15th and I ended it October 2nd, a few weeks prior to filming this video. And so when I started, the first 10 days, 14 days, I didn't really feel any difference. So I was, religiously taking my remedies according to my protocol. And I didn't really notice anything. Now, after the second week, we started clearing out things from my kidneys. And that's when I noticed from night to day, it was like a switch flicked on. And my energy and my mood completely shifted. It did, wow. I suddenly had so much energy, and I was dealing with chronic fatigue before, so this was like night and day difference for me. And I also noticed I was happier than I felt in years. I mean, even the days that I was still dealing with the physical pain, because I was still dealing with that physical pain at the time. I still couldn't walk up and down stairs. I couldn't do a child's pose. I couldn't do a lot of things. But I noticed that mentally I felt, like it's okay. Like I'll get through this. I didn't feel in that downward spiral that I was in prior to starting the treatment, because like I said, I was in a bad space mentally. And working on my mindset and everything through healing. So that was a noticeable significant improvement in the beginning, was that positive energy and mood change. And then as time went on, I noticed that some of the pains and spasms, they were reducing and disappearing. At the same time, I was not exercising during the treatment because I really wanted to give my body the rest that it needed. So it's not just giving my body the rest it needed, it was also because I was scared to work out again. I was scared to exercise because of what was happening to me before I started this treatment. Even if I were to do one set of exercises using my body weight only, no weights whatsoever, it would take me about 3 days to recover. Every step would be painful for 3 days. I would have trouble walking. So yeah, I was scared to start exercising again. I really wanted to give the treatment time to work. So I did notice with regular walking that the pain started to subside. And in late August, I was scheduled to go on a hiking trip with my dad and my sister. We do a father-daughter trip every year. And I had no idea if I was going to be able to hike when I went on this trip because I hadn't walked up and down stairs for months. I couldn't do anything. So I went on that trip with my dad and my sister in complete faith. And when we got there, I hiked the first day for 4 hours, and the following morning I woke up and I felt maybe a slight bit of stiffness that would be normal if you haven't exercised for months and then you all of a sudden hike for 4 hours. But the pains and the spasms, they were gone. And I ended up hiking every day for 4 hours for the entire week. And I felt the best I felt in the longest time that I can remember. So I was like, this stuff is working. This is great. So this is all the good stuff of the treatment. I promised you the good, the bad, the ugly, right? So the bad, the ugly. During the treatment, I broke out in this very uncomfortable itchy rash that made me want to tear off my skin. And I went to the doctor, got tested. It turns out that that was the Epstein-Barr virus leaving my body. So this is the thing, when you go through quantum energy medicine protocol, each person is so individual, and the body has different ways of detoxing itself. So it may leave through urine, you may get diarrhea, you may get a rash, you may, sometimes things happen. It's not the case for everybody. It's just that happened to be how it worked out for me. So I had to pause the protocol for 10 days and take 10 remedies in between to clear out that rash. And so I had, the rash had cleared out. Returned to my treatment, and when I got back from the hiking trip, I was feeling so good that I was like, okay, well, if I can hike for 4 hours every day, I can definitely start exercising again. So let me slowly reintroduce exercise into my life. So the first week I came back, I exercised 1 day that week. Second week, 2 days. Third week, 3 days. Fourth week, 4 days. So I incrementally increased my exercise. And I worked up to 5 days a week, which is what I used to do back in the day before all of this stuff happened. But I was exercising at half my capacity. So I wasn't doing any strenuous yoga, and I also wasn't overdoing it with weightlifting. I was doing like half of the weight that I normally would have done, or less than half. Water. As we talk about charged water, right? So basically from that point, I had up to 5 days a week. And once I got back to the 5 days a week exercising, even though it was half capacity, I started getting leg pains again. Now, it was not nearly as bad as what I had to begin with. I would say maybe I was 100% feeling 100% like great after the hiking trip. And by the time I got to 5 days a week, I was feeling more like 70% better, like it had regressed a little bit. Of course, at that time, my mind started playing into a lot of fears, like, is this stuff not working? Am I reverting all the way back? Do I have to stop exercising again? Oh my God, I've been like, I did so much. I had changed my diet prior to the treatment, and also in the treatment or in the diagnostic test, he tests you for food sensitivities. So I had eliminated whatever foods that were aggravating my gut, and I was very restrictive and very careful, and I really wanted to heal. And then all of a sudden I feel this like regression of these symptoms coming back. And it really got to me mentally in this last week, and I noticed that it was affecting me again emotionally and mentally. So I worked on my mindset, and then I decided, you know what, let me just not sit and linger in this. I have to do something about it. For most people, 1 round of treatment does the trick and they don't need to come back. However, some people might have to go back for a 2nd or 3rd round, or maybe a 4th. It depends on what's going on with you individually. I happen to be one of those people that's going to have to go back for a 2nd treatment. So your answer to, does quantum energy medicine really work? I believe that yes, it does, and I will have an even more concrete answer for you after going through the 2nd round of treatment. So I'll share with you more the journey. I'd love to hear from you. What else do you guys want to hear about? I know some of you have mentioned about healing naturally with mindset, or just various things that might help you on your own journey to optimize your health, mind, body, and spirit. And that's what this channel is about. So please leave a comment below. Let me know what resonated for you. Let me know what issues you might be struggling with, or what you want help with, or what's helped you, because you never know how your story might help someone else in the community. So I love to see when people can learn from each other. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you are into optimizing your health, mind, body, and spirit, subscribe to this channel. And I so look forward to seeing you in the next one.